Hello, hello, hello. Today is the 3rd of September, 2022, and every 2 weeks, Norm Winski comes and enlightens us about what's going to happen. He's going to review his last calls and then tell us the dates to watch for coming up. Norm, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Jeff. I will start out by reviewing what I forecasted when I was last on your show on August 22. We had 6 events coming up over the coming few days there. And starting out with, we have 3 dates on the either the afternoon of the 23rd or overnight. AC is after the close of the 23rd. I'll make that 2 more after the close of the 23rd. And we had Saturn lighting up with Neptune, and we were going to look at coffee, copper, and oil. Then we had Jupiter to the U.S. natal chart. If you need any help with any of these technical terms, give me a call. I'll give you a free class and explain all these technical terms. It's not difficult. It's just not you're just not used to these terms. And that's to the U.S. chart based on where the planets were. 4th of July, 1776, Jupiter to the U.S. chart. Then we had Mercury aphelion the night of the 23rd. That's as Mercury goes around the sun, 88-day cycle. It's elliptical, not circular, and so there's a point where the planets are the farthest and the closest, and Mercury was at its farthest point there. And anytime we have Mercury, we'll be looking at grains, corn, and plus because the sun was involved, we're looking at gold. And then we had that night, the 23rd, we had Uranus turning retrograde, and that has to do with the relative motion of the Earth, cattle, copper, cotton. And then we had a new moon over the weekend of the 26th, and that was in Virgo. And anytime we have a new moon, full moon, we round up the usual suspects, financial grains, precious metals. And because in Virgo, we're running a special on soybeans. And then that same weekend, we had Mercury, which was also grains. So you had a double whammy there for the grains over the weekend of the 26th, and that's corn, soybeans, wheat. So let's go look at our points here. Here's the chart. Here's the corn chart. We had the, let's see, that was the first point there was the, there we go, Mercury. Had a Mercury point there for the night of the 23rd. He had a little short-term top there for the corn, and it dropped a little bit. You would have made a small profit. Here we have our 2 other points there over the weekend of the 26th, and that was a nice high there, and then you had a 3 to 4 day drop there on the corn. So those are all winners. Here's the soybeans, probably even a little bit better. You rallied up there and you made a bigger top on the beans and then rallied back up to our next window for our double point there. And then a even bigger drop. That was quite a bit of money there. I think you dropped about, it looks like almost $1 there. That would be $5,000 in about 4 or 5 days. Okay, and if you want to learn about how to trade these futures, if you're not familiar with them, I'll be happy to help you with that too. Here's the wheat making a top there, and then it dropped, and then came back, and then we're kind of going sideways there. So we're doing nothing there. We're kind of in that big range there. So kind of going nowhere. So we took a pass on the yellow box. Here's the cattle there, kind of going sideways there. So we did nothing in cattle. Here's the cotton kind of pulling back a little bit. So we found a low there on the cotton. And then it had a nice rally. That was a low there. Copper was going, it doesn't get much more sideways than that. We had a couple of points there for the copper, but it was going sideways. So we do nothing. Silver was going sideways, so we did nothing. Here's the gold, it was rallying, and so you would have sold there ahead of that top there, and then you had a nice decline. Here's the crude oil, we had a miss there. It was actually a day, just a little bit ahead of the window would have began on that day for that top, and we were on the close there, and so we were just a few hours ahead outside our window. Here's the S&P going sideways, and so all those points we had for the S&P, I think there were 4 of them, we did nothing. Here we had 2 misses on the S&P. Here's the bonds. We came down here and made a low on the bond, a little bit of a low on the bonds, popped up about a day or so later for a little bit of a profit. Then you came here for a high against that top there, and then you had a big decline there on the bonds. And then the dollar made a top right there on the U.S. point there, and then again for the moon over the 26th weekend, and you had a little pullback there. So those were both good. Here's your Aussie dollar, made a low there on the moon. The currencies danced to the moon, and then popped up there for a 1 day pop. BP just kept going down. British pound just kept going, so that's a miss. Here's your Canadian dollar. Had a nice one-day pop there for a little profit. And the euro was going sideways, and the Japanese yen was a miss. So you add up the green arrows and the red arrows. We got 15 winners, 6 misses out of 21 for 71.43%. Here's what's coming up this weekend, the Labor Day weekend. We have Venus at perihelion. That's a 225-day cycle as Venus goes around the sun. This is its closest point this weekend, and we'll be looking at all the Venus-related markets and the sun-related markets because it involves the sun too, and that's cotton, copper, corn, cotton, gold, sugar, and wheat. And then the weekend of the 9th, we got a big double whammy for the grains with Mercury turning retrograde in Libra, and there's your grains. And then we also have a full moon. Anytime that's rather rare where those two things get together, Mercury and the moon. And so that's a big double whammy for the grains and also many other markets, financials, grains, precious metals, and oil. And then we have Jupiter to the U.S. chart also that weekend. So we have a big cluster. We got one thing this weekend and then a big three-way cluster the weekend of the 9th coming up. I've been doing, for those who don't know me, I've been doing this a long time. I started on the Chicago trading floors back in 1975, CBOE, Chicago Board of Trade. Been doing this most of my adult life and started investing in college, and I'll be happy to help you. Please give me a call. Here's my contact information, 239-594-3939. 239-594-3939, or you can email me at Winski at EMBARQMAIL.com, or you can call me on Skype for free anywhere in the world, NWINSKI_1. Everybody have a great Labor Day weekend. Looking forward to helping some of your folks, Jeff.
Well, Norm, that's great as always. I certainly hope you're correct about this weekend, because that's when I have us reversing as well, and then it's good to know it'll last until next weekend with a high percentage of likelihood, with high likelihood. So, Norm, great as always, and we'll see you back in a couple of weeks.
Thank you very much, Jeff.
Okay, bye-bye.